Hello and welcome back to the Football Terrace. Thank you very much for tuning in. Donny van der Beek is officially a Manchester United player. A fee of £35 million plus add-ons has been agreed between Manchester United and his previous club, Ajax. The medical, we know, has already taken place, passed with flying colours. A deal until June 2025 has been agreed for 120,000 euros per week. Donny van der Beek, and it is pronounced Beek, not Beek, is a Manchester United player. I cannot tell you how ecstatic and how happy I am to bring a player of this quality, of this ilk, and with the ceiling that Van der Beek possesses. This man can play in central midfield. He can play in the attacking midfield roles. He's got a pass, a first touch, the eye to... He can thread the eye of a needle with a ball. He can score goals. And the most potent element of his game is the majority of time he gets into the box and impacts the game. On average, just under 5 times per game as a midfielder, he's touching the ball in the box. Let's compare that to Man United's other two top-class midfielders in Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes, especially, that is an attacking midfielder. They average just 2.2 touches in the box per game over the past 5 years of their careers, not just at Manchester United, but the last 5 years in all competitions. This is a massive, massive signing for United. It brings a brand new element to the starting lineup. It strengthens the bench. There are more options, more versatility, as I mentioned. I want your views. I want your opinions. I want to know what you're thinking and feeling. Before we go any further, I'm going to pause right here while I say this. Please hit the like button. Right now, hit that like button. I'm going to wait until you move on a little bit more. There we go. And make sure you're subscribing to the Football Terrace and you turn the bell notification button on. That way you know when we go live and or when we upload new content, because we always, of course, we want to hear from you. We want to know what you think and what you feel. That's the point of the Football Terrace community. And it's such an interesting deal, this, because the reason I'm so psyched, aside from the footballing reasons that I have just listed off and gone through, it's almost been the reaction from the mainstream media. Famously, Danny Murphy trending the whole of Bank Holiday Monday because he asked the question, Pogba must be leaving because United don't need another midfield player. I've seen people like Danny Murphy question the strength in depth at Manchester United. What happens if Pogba gets injured? What happens if Bruno gets injured? Where's the versatility? Who can come in? The bench is thin. We signed someone to improve the first team and the bench. And I'm not saying Donny van der Beek is going to be a bench player for Manchester United. He may be coming in for what in this era is considered a small amount of money at £35 million. But he has the presence, the ability and ceiling to not only start in the first team, he has the ability to have Bruno or Pogba drop to the bench. This guy is light years in front of Pereira and Lingard and is a better football player than Fred and Scott McTominay will probably ever be. And I'm not saying that with any disrespect to those players because they're good. This guy, Donny van der Beek, is just levels above. And the reaction from the mainstream media, the reaction from rival fans is all you need to know. Within 10 minutes of Fabrizio Romano saying, "Here we go," you started seeing it. The Dutch Ross Barkley is what's being thrown around. And to Man United fans, don't be weak. That for me is a sign of beauty. That for me is a sign that we are signing the right players. When you see somebody like Donny van der Beek, one of the most coveted, recognizable and sought after midfield players in European football, for the past 3 to 4 seasons, every summer, I have seen fans of every single club within the top 6 of the Premier League want and beg their manager and their board to buy this man, and Manchester United have him. That's it. So the fact there is some saltiness from the mainstream media, the fact that there's question marks over how and what and where will he play. Listen, is he better than Pogba? Is he better than Bruno? Not in my opinion. But is he good enough to improve to go beyond their level or reach their level? Yes, Of course he is. We know how good he is. He's been tremendous the last couple of years in an Ajax shirt. He's now going to move on to new levels at Manchester United, and I am absolutely psyched. We take a look at the deal. As mentioned, it's a 5-year contract, so it gives, he's going to be 28, 29 by the time this contract expires. United are going to have him for his absolute best years. And if he does well, which I'm very, very confident that he will, and we'll move on to why I'm confident in a few moments, we'll probably renew that in another 3.5 years' time as well. He comes in on 120,000 euros. I haven't actually sat there and worked that out. I will just run that through my FX calculator to see what that actually transpires into pound sterling as. And although players don't actually get paid weekly, we'll just keep it in that language for now to keep it nice and simple. It's about £107,000 per week. And the reason that's so important, we spoke about it on this platform many, many times. United under Ollie are changing their culture. United under Ollie are not signing players purely because we're willing to pay the individual more money than a rival. We made that mistake very, very famously with Alexis Sanchez, taking him practically off the medical table at City and bringing him across the road to Manchester United. It didn't quite work. There was no buy-in. He didn't really want to be at the club. We did this, I think, with Falcao. I think we did this massively with Angel Di Maria. And there may be many other players along the way. Or we've bought individuals that weren't right for the current manager. We changed direction too many times. So by the time Ollie came in, we quite literally had a squad that was made up from players from the Fergie, Moyes, LVG, and Jose eras, respectively. 4 managers with very different philosophies, very different approaches, who need a very specific player type to make their teams tick. And we suddenly had this squad that was a hybrid of all 4 of those managers amalgamated into one. That plus the culture failing, plus paying individuals. And I'll go back to the point of why I think the salary is important. The Phil Joneses of this world on nearly 100 grand a week. The Jesse Lingards on well over £100,000 per week. It was absolutely criminal that these individuals who had achieved very, very little at the club, very inconsistent at the club, were not wanted by the fans in any way, shape or form, were the highest paid individuals in the Premier League as a collective group. That had to be addressed. And of course it takes time to do that. And there was a massive lack of patience from Manchester United fans a year or so ago. They wanted all the deadwood out instantly. And, we sat here and said on this platform that you're never going to get rid of all your deadwood straight away. It's going to take a good couple of years to move them on. Some of them are on massive contracts. You're not just going to get someone on 180 grand a week that we don't want to go and play for another club and take a pay cut to 75 grand a week because that's the ceiling of a player of that quality. It's going to take time to move them out slowly. You're going to have to cut some of them deals and whatever it may be. And United are getting there now. We know we're only signing players that truly want to be part of the club. It's why we walked away from the Dybala situation. It's why we walked away from the Haaland situation because of either the types of questions they were asking about. It was more about the money, or in Haaland's case, I want a buyout clause. I want to keep my options firmly open. No, we want someone that's coming to Man United and is going to commit the next 4 to 5 years of their career to us because we're looking to build a team that is going to win the Premier League and become European champions again. And if in the forefront of your mind, there is that element of in a couple of years, I might want to leave. We don't want to know. That for me is a clear sign of the culture changing in terms of how and what we're buying. You then have the element of these deals being done quickly. You've got the element of them being done as stealthily as possible. You also look in the situation where we're landing our main targets on a very regular basis. Harry Maguire, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Bruno Fernandes, as in stellar first-team individuals. We've now gone and done it with Donny van de Beek. We're trying to do it with others. So you can see a clear change of direction in the way Man United are being run. Does that mean I'm a supporter of the Glazers? No. But that's the hand we're dealt. They're here. So it's about how best we operate within the parameters that they set us. How successful can we be within the restraints that they put upon us? And for me, we wasted nearly £900 million of cash in the last 7 years. And it's up until Ollie came in. And it's been absolutely amazing to see our behaviors and our abilities in those areas improve. And in relation to Donny van de Beek, as I've said, he is an absolutely wonderful, wonderful, wonderful football player. The ceiling is high. The multitude of positions that he can play, or roles more so that he can take up. He's a central midfielder. He plays one position, but of course the roles in a game that he can occupy are multifaceted, and I'm so excited to see him in a Man United shirt. The great thing is with the way the football's gone because of the unfortunate events of the lockdown, is that we're going to see this very soon. It's going to be 2 or 3 weeks. He's going to be walking out at Old Trafford and at other grounds wearing a Manchester United kit, donning the famous badge, donning the famous red shirt. And, you know, the crowds can't come back soon enough for me. Of course, we missed that as football fans. You know, I cover all games now from our studio, so I don't go to games like I used to do. But I want the fans there because that just helps everybody. And I know that every single faithful Man United fan at Old Trafford, and of course the travelling fans, I give them so much respect for what they do, are going to be singing this guy's name for years to come. I've got a feeling, you look at the midfield that we've got now, Pogba, Bruno, Van der Beek, and there is still talk of Thiago's and Upamecano's and Sancho, of course, coming in. Ollie is building a colossal team, and do you know what? Look at the average age. There's so much to be excited about when it comes to this player. It is unbelievable. And remember just one little thing as well. When people talk about pulling power, Ollie's this, Ollie's that, no one wants to join your club. Van der Beek has had Barcelona and Real Madrid looking at him. Now, maybe, just maybe, they've got to wait a year because of the financial restraints that CV19 created. But he's just signed a 5-year deal to join Manchester United. He wasn't willing to wait a year to move to Barcelona or Real Madrid. Man United is more than good enough for him to come and join. And I think that, again, I had my wobble in the middle of last season, and that was emotional. It was almost embarrassing when I look back at it, but it was based on emotion and me not being able to handle banter from rival fans. And I look back and I feel ashamed of myself for that, which is why I've apologized countless times, and I'll probably apologize another 10 times on it. I can see what Ollie's building. I can see what Manchester United are building. The culture's coming back. The United way is coming back. How we're paying players and structuring our team, the type of individuals, and the mentality that we need at the club is being injected week in, week out. And it's why we've seen Paul Pogba have a U-turn and want to stay at the football club. It's why Anthony Martial, that wanted to leave in the Jose era, is firmly a United player, wants to remain, and loves being there under Ollie. And if these very, very special players want to come and play for Ollie and want to stay and play for Ollie at Manchester United, how dare we overly challenge? Of course we can criticize. Of course we can complain when things aren't right. Of course we can question particular decisions. But not one single fan watching, no YouTuber, no Instagrammer, no Twitter bot has more knowledge in the collective dressing room about football more knowledge about football than the collective knowledge of the dressing room of Manchester United. And those players are happy. The people signing for us are happy. Everyone is coming in and working hard. The majority of signings have been a success. I'm fully behind Ollie. Congratulations to him and Manchester United for signing Donny van der Beek. I'm excited as a United fan about that. But I want your views. I want your opinions. Smash the living daylights out of that like button for me. But until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all soon.